Hello, my name is Bruno. I am from the Federal University of Paraná and Centro Universitário Integrado, and I'm gonna present the paper entitled What is the Vocabulary of Flake Tests and Extended Replication? This is a joint work with Marco Graciotto, André Endo, and Silvia Vergilio. Regression test is an important practice in the software quality, and flake tests are a recurring issue that hamper the adoption of automated tests. Flake tests are the test case that may pass or fail non-deterministically in the same production code. For instance, look at the figure. We have some executions of tests with the same production code, but as you can see, test C toggles between success and failure. So, usually, to identify flake tests, the techniques are based on the execution of the program and are extremely costly. So, a promised approach to reduce this cost is to collect static data of automated tests and use them to predict their flakiness. Such an approach was proposed in the work of Pinto et al. As we can see in the figure, the test code is preprocessed and tokenized, and as a result, we obtained the tokens at the bottom of the figure. From such tokens, features are derived along with the Java keywords compose the model to predict the flakiness. Our first goal is to replicate the training and prediction with the same dataset but with a different machine learning platforms and algorithms. Our second goal is to extend the experiment, test the trained classifier against the other dataset. We first investigated if we can obtain the similar results to the original study with WECA to validate the process and the original work. After this, we replicated the study, checking the algorithm's performance, value of each feature, and information again. All of them with the same datasets but now using the scikit-learn. Moreover, we included 3 additional algorithms. Our objective was also to investigate if the vocabulary of flake tests obtained by the original study remains valid and can be used in the other contexts. Therefore, we proposed an extension to validate the trained model against another dataset to verify effectiveness of the model on the predicted flake tests on 2 scenarios, intra-project and inter-project. The intra-project scenario concerns the use of the obtained classifier to predict flake tests from the same software project, while inter-project concerns the use of the other projects that not belong to the original study project's group. Addressing this objective, we verified the performance of the trained classifier in Research Question 1 in the intra- and inter-project context. Then, we selected the IDFlakes dataset to obtain the test data. As the original study, we utilized the process that the authors provided. This dataset do not contain examples of non-flake tests, so only recall will be used to analyze the results. Evaluating how accurately we can predict flakiness based on source code identifiers, we obtained very similar results. The barrier classifier was the random forest with a difference in a decimal case. The added classifiers obtained reasonable performance as well as logistic regression, obtaining a barrier recall. Analyzing the value of the different features, we obtained a minimal difference, so we highlight different greater than 2%. Thus, as in the original study, different features did not show much impact in the classifiers. The information gain of the features showed as the most important are related to executing and coordinating tasks, and the obtained set of words is very similar to the original study. The results of Research Question 1 obtained for our replication give more evidence about the validity of the original study. The flake vocabulary obtained was very similar to the original study, thus the trained classifier will be used on the Research Question 2. So, to obtain the performance of predicting inter-project flake tests, we considered 8 tests from projects of the original study. The classifiers that had the best results in the original study do not reach a good performance in the replication and cannot be compared to the original study. Observing the recall, the linear discriminant analysis obtained a reasonable results, obtaining 75% and logistic regression 68%. The features in the table are ordered by the information again in the intra-project dataset, and as you can see, that highlighted features are about the types of flake tests as defined by Lu et al., IO and Syncall. Then, we have features that denote a vocabulary of flake tests, but they are present in a few test cases. To obtain the intra-project performance, we execute the prediction of 256 flake tests from projects of the group of the original study. The performance of the classifier for the inter-projects was very low. The barrier recall was obtained by LDA. The random forest that has the best result at the research question 1 was the worst classifier. As we can see in the research question 2.1, in the top 20 we have features that denote I/O and async weight, but they are present in a few test cases, and the classifier cannot recognize those features as the flake test vocabulary. At the Inter project, the classifier can identify flake tests with reasonable results, but the performance was not good in the Inter projects. The features the high information again are distinct from those previously identified, and they are related to I/O operations, execution and coordination of tasks, and Java keywords. Finally, this paper contributing to increasing the body of evidence to predict flake tests using the test code to create a vocabulary of flake tests. Moreover, our paper helps the investigation in other contexts. The trained classifier using the method and data defined by the original study cannot predict flakiness in the intra and inter project with a similar performance as the original study. It's possible to see that the pre-processing of data and training process can be improved and new features can be added addressing no types of flake tests. The preprint and the replication package can be obtained by scanning this QR code. Thanks all for watching.
Hello everyone. So let's get started with the questions. So we already have one question from audience. Fabiano asked it. So based on your results, would it mean that we cannot easily do cross-project flakiness prediction?
This is a future work. We are working with different data sets and to validate the vocabulary with more projects and more test case.
Okay, awesome. So to the audience, please post your questions in the paid chat. And meanwhile, we are waiting. So what, Bruno, for you, what are some of the challenges you faced while doing this replication? Bruno, can you hear us? Okay, I think there's some connectivity issues. Okay, so please, audience, please keep posting the questions and then Bruno might be able to answer them in the discussion room.